Welcome back. In this lecture, we're going to be creating our pages, which is going to be preparing our entire website for proper navigation. Now, if you've been with me since the previous lecture, your screen should look something like this. All we need to do is make sure you've published and then click on the exit up here in the upper left corner. And then we get to our website. Now, it's looking really neat and everything. We have our logo here. We have our favicon right up here. And this is our menu, but there's nothing actually going on right here. So we're going to have different pages on our website. We want to have a shop where people can shop. We want to have a blog where we can write articles. We want to have a home page. And basically, this is our home page where people can just get right back to our home page right away. We want to have a contact page so that they can write to us if they have any questions, if there's going to be any refund issues, if they just have questions about your product. And pages exist for navigational purposes. So your menu exists up here for easy access for your visitors to go to different parts of your website. So what we're going to do is to make sure we have all of those pages. And once we have the pages created, we're then going to add them into the menu so that our visitors can navigate to them. We're also going to set up our legal pages. And this is no small deal. The legal pages literally keep you in the right side of the law when it comes to running a website and running an online store. So let's dive right in and set it all up. We're going to go to the upper left corner up here and then click on dashboard. And then we're going to go to the left where it says pages and then all pages. Now, because we've used a starter kit, we are lucky enough that we have gotten a bunch of different pages already added in here. So once again, lucky us, is going to save us a lot of time. However, there are some errors in here. So for example, we already have a shop added to our website, which is amazing, but there are double pages of everything. And the reason for that is when we first downloaded the theme, we got some pages included. And then when we downloaded the starter kit, they added them in once again. It's not a very smart thing to have designed it that way, but that's what happens. We're just gonna start off by removing all of the duplicates. So looking to the left, you can see this is cart and this is cart, but this is being used as the cart page, meaning that this is the unnecessary duplicate. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select it. I'm gonna select this checkout. This one is being used. This one isn't. I'm gonna select this, my account. Scroll down. There's one my blog page, one my front page, two refund and return. So I'm going to just select one of those and remove them. Two sample pages. In fact, we don't need any sample page. I'm going to remove both of them. And two shops. I'm going to remove that one. Go up to bulk actions, click on move to trash and apply. Now I'm just going to check again to see that there are no duplicate pages in here. And I don't think so, if my vision is serving me correctly. And next thing, we're going to rename them properly. We want to have the same name in here that they're going to be called on our actual menu. So for example, we have an about page. And if we want to check out how our about page looks like right now, we can actually go down to where it says view and click there. So this about page already exists pre-designed on our store because we got a starter site. It looks like this. It has a story, a philosophy. It has Latin, just mumbo jumbo words. It might actually mean something I wouldn't know. And then we are going to make sure that when we redesign this, we add in a contact form down here. But the important thing to know is that this page exists. It's pre-designed for us because we got it as a template, but no one is able to navigate to it because we haven't added it up as a menu. We want to make sure that the name that's going to be shown here is going to be short and concise and to the point. So let's head back. I'm just going to click back here. We want to make sure that about, for example, is just called something like about, not my about page, because on the menu, that's going to take up a lot of space. But for our sake, we're not just going to have an about page. We're going to combine it with a contact page. And because that is more important to know for our visitors, I'm going to go down and click on quick edit. Remember to do this with me. And I'm going to change it to contact. Now, this is going to be called contact in the menu as well. Down here, we have a slug. I want you to rename this to contact as well with a small c. The slug is just the URL. So if people go to bluelightdefenders.com/contact, they're going to end up on the contact page. The slug is what decides what the slash and the name is going to be. So that's why we always want to name the slug the same name as the title for easy navigation for your visitors and for you should you need to hyperlink something, meaning link something quickly in your blog articles, for example. And we're going to go through that much more later on in the course. But for now, just know you want to have these two as the same name. Click on update. Go down. We have my account, and that is just too long of a name. I'm going to to change it to account. Again, we're always just saving real estate here on our menu. My blog page is going to be called blog. And that also means that this part is going to be called blog. And which of course also means that the account I did before is just going to be called account. Just like that. My front page, we're going to click on quick edit, is going to be called home. Now, all you need to do is the same thing as me. Click on update. Privacy policy will be called privacy policy, refund and returns. I'm just going to name it refund and just add in this sign again to save a little bit of space. Refund and returns policy. And the slug is refund _ returns. Perfect. Click on update. Shop is just going to be called shop. Awesome. We've done the preparation with the names now. Now, the next thing we want to do is that we want to add in 3 legal pages to keep us on the right side of the law. The number 1 is going to be a privacy policy. Now, a privacy policy is basically a transparent declaration where you let your visitors know how you're using their information. So when they visit your website, you are going to be saving down their information and sending it to Google Analytics. You might be saving down their email so that you can do email marketing to them. You might be saving down cookies and tracking our visitors. And this is what all websites do. But because of GDPR and upcoming laws in multiple places like California, for example, you need to let all of your visitors know very clearly what you're saving, how you're saving it, why you're saving it, and if your visitor wants to have their information removed, where can they contact you to do so? So we're gonna set one of those privacy policies up. Then we're also gonna set a refunds and returns policy up. Legally, that's not mandatory, but it's good to have when you're selling a physical product. And in this demo store, this is a physical product. So we're gonna have like a 30-day return policy, for example. You wanna let them know they should have the original package, all of that important information. And finally, you wanna have a terms and conditions page. Again, you're not legally required, but it's good because you're basically saying that whatever they do on our website is on their own risk, meaning that you don't take responsibility for whatever damage that they might incur to themselves or through their website, no fault of your own. It's just a way to keep you on the right side of the law and keep you protected. But again, we're going to use ChatGPT for all of these, so it's going to be super quick and super effective. Don't worry about it. So the first thing we're going to do is move over to our guidebook, and then we're going to go down to website building and move down to where it says pages. Click there. Now we're going to have 3 prompts for 3 different pages in this lecture. The first one is to generate a privacy policy. So all we need to do is copy all of this text in here. I'm going to copy it and then head over to ChatGPT. I'm going to paste it in, and now I need to do a little bit of work. My website name is, I'm going to set it up. So there's a couple of things. My website name here, business name, I sell product, niche, email. My address is today's date is. Just for speed and save some time, I'm going to set this up right now. So I've set everything up, and the prompt is act as a legal expert, write me a comprehensive and GDPR compliant, meaning General Data Protection Regulation, which is the European law of saving other people's information, compliant privacy policy for my website. And then all of the information, make sure it covers data collection, storage, usage, sharing, security measures, while also addressing users' rights and how they can exercise them. Make sure to include any necessary legal language and provisions to maintain transparency and protect user privacy effectively. Very, very important. Now, before we do this, I want to be very clear. I'm not a lawyer. You shouldn't take legal advice from me, especially as a small website. This is how we create our privacy policies and teach our students too. And we're going to generate this one, and then I'm going to show you what to look for. And as it's generating all this massive amount of information, you might find that it comes to a halt, just like this, mid-sentence. All you need to do is write continue, hit enter, and then it's going to continue writing. It has a limited cap on how much it can write. So just if it stops mid-sentence, write continue, hit enter, and let it continue write. Amazing. So it's been generated. So here's what you need to look for in your privacy policy. First of all, you need to look for the personal data collection and make sure the ChatGPT writes what sort of data that is being collected. Then the usage data, letting our visitors know that we might collect data on how they use our website, like what browser they have, their IP address, and all of that important stuff. And also cookies. It's very important that we let them know that we save and store their cookies, how we save them, and why we do it, and that they have the ability to refuse. And that's all in here. And finally, we need to have our contact information available too, by email and by mail actually. So scrolling all the way down, we have that right here, contact us, and we have the email and we have the physical address. So that's going to be very important. And when it comes to writing your address, you do need to have a physical address. If you don't have a business up and running, you're going gonna need to use a PO box where you can put your business address as, or if you don't have that, you do need to use your personal address. So this is why it's a good idea to get some sort of PO box or set up your business or get a different address for those purposes of protecting your own physical address. But if you don't have any of that, you are legally required to actually put your real address on there. I wouldn't worry about it, but as your business starts running, it is important that you get a physical location to set up there just for your own privacy. So again, I'm not a lawyer, and legally you shouldn't take legal advice from me. This is how we build our privacy policy pages. In the end, it is our own responsibility to make sure that it is correct, but this is how I use it, this is how I teach it, and it's worked for all of these years. So now we're just gonna go ahead and copy it, starting with the first half. So I'm gonna copy it, then head back to our website. I'm gonna go into privacy policy right here and then click on edit. I'm gonna close this one down. I mean, I'm gonna be the tutorial, right? We don't need this one. And then I'm just going to select all of this. I mean, we do have a privacy policy here. It's just that it's not good. We're gonna remove it and then just paste it in just like that. I'm gonna go back because I got it in 2 sessions. You might just have it in 1. As long as it gets you the info you need, that's absolutely fine. Copy the second part right here, head back, paste it in, and there we have it. Scrolling up, this is where it got a little off with the pasting. There we go. I mean, this is what I call a proper privacy policy. I've already read it through beforehand and I've looked for the things I told you to look for. It's all looking amazing. Now what I'm gonna do is click on publish and then publish. Then we're gonna head back up here. Look, we can see our logo. Isn't that cool? Then we're gonna go down to where it says settings and privacy. And then where it says select a privacy policy page, we're gonna select our privacy policy we just set up and click on use this page. This is super important because legally you are required to have one, and Google knows that. So if it's gonna rank your site and drive traffic, it needs to know that you are playing by the rules, that your website is legally abiding. So this is a very important step, not just for you personally, but also for the success of your business, just getting visitor-wise. Okay, so we have 2 more. We have the terms and conditions, and we have the returns and refunds policy page. So let's go ahead and create those. We're gonna go back to pages, all pages. We don't actually have a terms and conditions page in here, so I'm gonna click on add new. Title is gonna be terms and conditions. And I like to use this sign rather than write and again to save space. And then we're gonna go back to the guidebook, move down to where it says generate terms and conditions. So all I'm gonna do is I'm going to copy all of this right here, copy it, head back, paste it right in. And then I'm just gonna set these ones up again. So once I've written it all, I'm just gonna send it away. And remember, the terms and conditions, they help you legally make sure that you're not liable for the visitors, but legally, just strictly speaking, they're not required to keep your website up and running. And once it's done, it's just about copy paste. Again, we're not required to use it by law, but if there's anything to look for in here, it's gonna be right down here where it says limitation of liability. In no event shall Robin and Jesper Ltd nor its directors blah 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 be liable for any indirect blah blah blah. Basically, we're not liable. If something happens to the visitor, it's not our fault. And that's really the main part of the terms and conditions policy. So you want to make sure that that is in there. But again, it legally is not a must. It's just one of those safety precautions. So I'm going to copy all of this. Then we're going to head back and I'm just going to paste it in. It's that easy. Head back again because I had to use the continue again because it's quite long. I'm gonna copy all of this good stuff, paste it in. And then just look, usually when you do the paste, mess up and get an extra number and sort of break the paragraph. That's all. Now it should look really nice. This is everything we need. I'm gonna go ahead and click on publish. Amazing. We don't need to set it up in any settings because once again, that's just the privacy policy. That's the most important page to be setting up properly. And finally, we have the refunds and returns policy. So we're going to head back, going to go down to refund and returns policy. And we only have it because it came with our starter kit. So that's handy. Click on edit. And we already do have one. It's just that we're going to get a better one. ChatGPT is going to outperform this one by far. Then again, there are going to be a couple of things to look at. And then to create our refunds and returns policy page, just go to the guidebook and grab the last prompt, come back in here, paste it in. It's gonna be a little bit longer and it says, act as a legal expert, please write a comprehensive refunds and returns policy for my website that clearly explains the process, conditions, blah, blah, blah. Now, the most important part here that separates it from the other one is going to be I sell a physical/digital product. If you sell a physical product, then what sort of condition it needs to come back in and how many days you have to get a refund is going to be very different from if you're only selling a digital product. So this is really where things get a lot different. So if you only sell a digital or only sell a physical, make sure that you write that one in there. Now, what I'm going to do is that I'm just gonna set this all up once again. And then I'm gonna hit enter. There we go. And once it's done, well, it's done. The one thing you wanna look at here when it comes to this refund and returns policy is scrolling down, you can see it says the product must be returned within 30 days. If you agree to 30 days, then keep 30 days. If you wanna keep it shorter or longer, just make sure that you edit in that number that you're comfortable with. Generally, 30 days when it comes to a refund and a return is pretty standard, so I would be safe with that. And do note that I wrote in a physical product, of course, because I'm selling a physical product. So as always, make sure you read it through and that you're comfortable with what it says, because it's going up on your website and you're guiding your future customers on how to handle their returns and refunds. So make sure that you know what it says and that you agree to it. Then I'm just gonna copy all of this, head back to the website, and I'm going to remove all of this text like this, paste it in, and there we go. Then I'm gonna hit publish. And that's it. Well done. We've prepared our pages and we've set up all of our legal pages. Now in the next lecture, we're going to start setting up our top menu and our footer menu so that our visitors can actually navigate around on our website and access all of these pages. Hope you're excited. See you in the next lecture.